Hey guys, it's another Suburban Somm video on a Wednesday, but we will not be doing White Wine Wednesday this week because it's Cinco de Mayo, and it's the unofficial National Margarita Day in the States. We actually do have an official National Margarita Day, but whoever invented it put it, I think it's February 22nd or something. I know it's in the middle of winter, never understood that. We still celebrate, gives us an excuse to have a margarita in February where we probably wouldn't normally, but honestly, if it was me, I'd have probably picked sometime in summertime. But we drink plenty in the summer anyway, and we're going to talk about making margaritas, get away from wine, just on this video. So, first thing, margaritas, you may have seen these mixers. They come with and without alcohol. I don't use them. This was left behind, that's why we have it. We put them in kitty margaritas sometimes, and if you really want the cheap and easy way to go, I think you just add ice. You just put them over ice, or you put them in the blender and you're good to go. Again, not for me. What we're going to do today is show you how to make a really good margarita. I think you'll enjoy a good frozen margarita, I should say, and it involves Minute Maid Limeade and tequila, triple sec, orange juice, and lime juice. Okay, so then when it comes to your traditional margarita, some people will tell you, heck, it's just tequila, lime juice, and you could probably stop there. That's a man's margarita. We're actually going to do it a little differently. Like I said, we're going to use limeade, and also some people will tell you there's two schools of thought. Cheaper spirits in a mixed drink like a margarita is the way to go. Why splurge? I'm kind of with that. We make a lot of them out at the tiki bar in the summer, and when we do, we don't go total cheap. Like, we'll use a middle of the road tequila. We're not going to use Cuervo. I tend to find you'll get a headache if you try to really skimp on the tequila and go with the lowest of the lows. But as far as your orange liqueur, triple sec, definitely, I would hardly notice. You blindfold me and you went with Grand Marnier or triple sec, I wouldn't be able to tell. This is significantly cheaper than Grand Marnier, and then also what makes a nice margarita, and it's not super expensive. I like the Sauza Hornitos, the Plata. We're going to talk about the grades of tequila here in a second as well, but these make a nice, if you're just going to make a ton of them and you're not going to break the bank, you can do it that way. If I'm just making one or two batches for me and Laura and my neighbor, we might splurge a little bit. This is probably going overboard. This is Patron Añejo and Grand Marnier, which is what we're going to be using today. As far as the grades of tequila go, I'm not going to give you a whole lesson on tequila, but there's like roughly 5 levels. Some people even say 7, but there's 5 basic levels. So your first level is your silver, white, plata, or blanco, and that's something that's been aged like just a couple of months. I think 0 to 1 month maybe. And then your gold, you might see Cuervo Gold, that's maybe 2 or 3 months, right? And then you got Reposado, which is anywhere up to a year. And then you got Añejo, which has to be a minimum of a year. And then you've got Extra Añejo, which is 3 years and up. And they even have Reservas, I think, really nice sipping tequilas. But a lot of people will sit and they'll take an Añejo tequila and they'll sip it because these have really nice flavors, whereas like a silver one is just gonna have basic flavors, take like basic tequila. You might just say that, well, there's maybe too much going on in an Añejo that it's going to like maybe affect the taste of your margarita. So keep that in mind. I don't think that's the case, especially with this one. I think it'll be fine. So I'm going to talk about your blender. You don't have to have one of these fancy Margaritaville ones, which is what we have here, but you do need at least a basic blender if you're going to make a frozen one. This is kind of their upscale one. This will make 2 or 3 pitchers at a time with the amount of ice that the hopper holds. I had their basic one before. It was in green and white plastic, and it made just 1 batch at a time. And frankly, when we were at the tiki bar, I was making so many with that it just wasn't worth it. I had to upgrade. So these, what I like about them is they not only blend, but they shave. So you'll see when we fire it up, and it's going to be a little loud during that sequence, but it actually shaves the ice for a little bit over your liquid, and then it blends and makes really nice consistency. It's almost perfect every time.
Absolutely.
So let's get into what I would call my go-to frozen margarita recipe. It starts with a whole can of limeade. And we'll go ahead and dump that in. And then what you'll do, you'll save this can, and you're going to go to 3/4 tequila. And you kind of eyeball that. And then 1/4 of your orange liqueur, whatever you happen to be using. Now, like I said, Grand Marnier, triple sec. You actually could also get away with using blue curacao, how you say that. It's also orange flavored, and what that'll do is that'll give your margarita a greenish blue tint. We call those mesa margaritas. It's going to taste very similar though, but it kind of gives it a little different flair. So what you do is you put that in there, so you've got your two spirits mixed in with your limeade. The first thing you're going to want to do is just blend that up. Just a couple seconds is all we're doing there to get it mixed up. You let it settle for a minute, and then what you're going to want to do is pour half of that back in.
Starting now.
So you got roughly half. So what that's going to do is you're going to actually get 2 batches out of this.
2 top shelf batches.
That's right. John, how many margaritas would you say you've had here over the years?
Well, it's been a lot. What was the last celebration that we did at your tiki bar?
I think it was 2,500.
Yeah.
That's just served at the tiki bar, and that was a couple years ago. So
Absolutely. I've had a lot over here, that's for sure.
So what have we got so far? And by the way, that's memory loss is one of the side effects of too much tequila. So what we've got right now is we've got our tequila, we've got our limeade, and we've got our orange liqueur. What we're going to do is we're going to add a little agave nectar. Just a little, okay. This is to sweeten it up. You could use simple syrup as well. We like to use the agave nectar. This is going to add some calories and carbs though, so if you'd like to kind of cut back on that a little bit, you can omit it, but it is going to cut down on the tartness, make it a little bit sweeter. It's kind of up to you and your tastes. We also like to add a little bit, just a dash of orange juice, and a little bit of lime juice. Just a touch. And once we have that in there, you pop it in the machine. This is going to get a little loud, but this will start the whole cycle. Pretty good. Sometimes it stops a little short, and I'll give it a little more. I think I'm going to do that this time. There you go. Okay, the next thing you got to have is lime. Some people will just make them wedges. I like to do, for a little extra flair, is you want to cut the ends off like that. And then what you're going to want to do is cut like along this way, the long part of the lime. And you only want to go down about 1/3 of the way. And I'll show you why in a second. And then I can use these. So you can see I got my salter out, or John was nice enough to get the salter out. This actually has a little spongy mat that you can put some lime juice in if you were doing a bunch of them. I'm not going to bother to do that. You can use part of a lime, squeeze it around the rim. What this is going to do is allow your glass to pick up salt. If you like salt. Some people don't like salt. These salts come in all different colors. We happen to get the yellow. I've used yellow, blue, and green are typical of what we do. As you can see, hopefully that shows up on camera, that nice gold rim of salt. There we go. And then what we got, let's move that out of the way. So then we start slicing our lime. We're going to probably just get 4 slices out of this one. Now let's bring the glasses over here. looks pretty good.
It's like a good top shelf margarita.
And typically you'll get anywhere from 3 to 4 margaritas out of this pitcher, depending on how generous of a pour you do. Looks like we could probably get another 1.5 at least. And then for the finishing touch, take your lime. Like I said, we did that little split there. That's what's going to go on the side like so. And there you go. You have your nice frozen margarita. It's 5 ingredients, like I said. I'll put it the description down in the comments below. And what do you think? Let's give it a try.
Feliz Cinco de Mayo. Oh, that's good.
Tasty.
Very delicious. Mm.
Like I said, it's not too tart, not too sweet. You can play with these ingredients. You don't have to use the orange juice. You don't have to use the lime juice. We already got limeade in there. You don't have to use simple syrup or agave nectar. You can use more if you wanted to. You could use that blue curacao, change it up a little bit. Lots of things you can do, but the basic ingredients, the tequila, the orange liqueur, and the limeade, that's what's going to get you this really nice and really easy frozen margarita that, in my opinion, is way better than going with the store-bought, already mixed ones in the bottle. So I'd say if you're into margaritas and you haven't already, give this a try. I think you'll be happy. What do you think, John?
I can't wait till this one's empty and you refill the glass. That's how good it is.
So the second one's always better.
The second one's always better.
They never get old. Hey, I am Scott. This is John from Suburban Som. Happy Cinco de Mayo to you if you celebrate, and we will see you on the next video. Cheers.
Buenas tardes.